Alright friend, settle in, because we're about to embark on a journey not across vast continents, but deep within ourselves. I'm thrilled you're here, ready to take the first step towards daring deeply, embrace vulnerability for wholehearted living. For years, I've watched people, just like you, strive for perfection, build walls of protection, and ultimately feel disconnected. We chase happiness, success, and belonging, often believing that if we just try harder, become stronger, or appear flawless, we'll finally achieve it. But what if the answer wasn't in adding more, but in shedding the layers that prevent us from truly connecting with ourselves and with others? This book is about that shedding. It's about bravely facing the things we often try to hide, our fears, our imperfections, and our vulnerabilities. Now I know what you might be thinking. Vulnerability sounds weak, like an invitation for pain and judgment. And trust me, I understand that fear. I've felt it myself. But what I've discovered and what I want to share with you is that vulnerability is not weakness. It's the birthplace of courage, connection, and true joy. Daring deeply isn't a magic formula. It's not a quick fix to all your problems. It's a guide, a companion, and a gentle nudge towards a more authentic and fulfilling life. We'll explore how embracing our imperfections, acknowledging our fears, and allowing ourselves to be seen, truly seen, unlocks the doors to deeper relationships, greater resilience, and a profound sense of belonging. Think of it this way. Imagine you're trying to grow a beautiful garden, but you're keeping all the plants sheltered indoors, afraid of the weather, the bugs, the unpredictable elements. They might survive, but they'll never truly thrive. They'll never feel the sun on their leaves, the rain on their roots, or experience the vibrant growth that comes from being exposed to the world. Our hearts are the same way. They need to be exposed, to be nurtured, to be vulnerable, in order to truly bloom. In these pages, we'll delve into practical strategies for cultivating vulnerability in your own life. We'll talk about setting boundaries, practicing self-compassion, and navigating the inevitable stings of criticism and rejection. We'll look at how vulnerability plays out in different areas of our lives, in our relationships, in our work, and in our relationship with ourselves. By the time you reach the end of this book, my hope is that you'll be equipped to understand the power of vulnerability. See it not as a weakness, but as a strength and a catalyst for connection. Cultivate self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you offer to others. Set healthy boundaries. Protect your heart and energy while remaining open to connection. Embrace imperfection. Recognize that your flaws are not defects, but unique aspects of your beautiful self. Live more authentically. Be true to yourself, even when it's scary or uncomfortable. Build deeper, more meaningful relationships. Connect with others on a more profound level by sharing your true self. This book is an invitation to a more courageous, more connected, and more wholehearted life. A life where you dare to show up, be seen, and love deeply, even when it feels risky. A life where you embrace your vulnerability, not as a liability, but as your greatest strength. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's begin. Welcome to the journey of daring deeply. Alright, champion, get ready to unleash your inner amazing. We're diving deep today, peeling back the layers, and discovering the superpower you already possess, vulnerability. Chapter 1. The Armor We Wear, Understanding Vulnerability. Listen up. For too long we've been sold a lie, a big, stinking, outdated lie. The lie that vulnerability is weakness, that showing your true self, your hopes, your fears, makes you some kind of target. Boo! Wrong! Vulnerability, my friends, is the bedrock of connection, courage, and everything worthwhile in this life. Think of it like this. Imagine you're going on a hike up a mountain. Life. And the only shoes you have are giant, clunky metal boots. Sure, they seem protective. They block every pebble, every potential ankle twist. But try to enjoy that hike. Try to feel the earth beneath your feet. Impossible, right? Those boots are our armor, hindering us from truly experiencing the journey. We all wear armor of some kind. We build walls, put on masks. We become experts in avoiding anything that might even tickle a raw nerve. We perfect the art of, I'm fine, even when we're crumbling inside. Maybe your armor is perfectionism. If I'm flawless, no one can criticize me. Guess what? exhausting and isolating. Maybe it's control. If I micromanage everything, nothing bad can happen. Newsflash: life is messy. You can't control it all, and trying will drain you dry. Or perhaps your armor is numbing. Binge-watching, overeating, endless scrolling, anything to avoid feeling something real. It might give you temporary relief, but the feelings are still there, festering underneath. Think of it like a volcano waiting to erupt. But here is the truth. Every piece of armor we wear weighs us down. It distances us from others. It suffocates our potential. It prevents us from truly experiencing the joy, the love, the connection that makes life worth living. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing every detail of your life to every Tom, Dick and Harry. It's about having the courage to show up, to be seen, to be heard, even when you can't guarantee the outcome. It's about saying, here I am, this is me. Imperfect, maybe a little scared, but real. And that, my friend, is powerful. So let's start shedding that armor, one piece at a time. Let's dare to be vulnerable. Let's dare to be real. Let's dare to be you, because the world needs the raw, unfiltered, authentic you. Your heart, let it beat loudly. Your voice, let it resonate. Your spirit, let it soar. All right, champion, grab your helmet, because we're diving into the arena. Chapter 2, Daring to Show Up, The Price of Admission. Listen, friend, life asks you to play full out, not to sit on the sidelines. Daring to show up, that's the toughest ticket in town. Costing you vulnerability itself is the price of admission. But let me tell you, the alternative. That's a much heavier price to pay. Think about it. Ever avoided a party because you were worried about looking awkward? Ever held back from sharing an idea at work because you feared criticism? That's you paying the real price. The price of missed opportunity, the cost of shallow connections. Imagine two scenarios. First, John, sweating with nerves, forces himself to attend a networking event. He stumbles through conversations, feels a bit foolish, but he shows up. He might not land a dream job that night, but he makes a connection that leads to a future opportunity. Second, there's Lisa. She avoids the same event, scared of rejection. She stays home, comfortable, safe. But she also remains stuck, wondering what could have been. Who paid the higher price? Lisa certainly did. Showing up means dropping the facade, risking potential hurt, and embracing the messy, imperfect reality of life. It means saying yes to the dance floor, even if you think you have two left feet. It means speaking your mind, even when your voice trembles. It means taking a risk on that relationship, even when the fear of getting hurt is screaming at you. The cost of not showing up: you shortchange yourself. You build walls instead of bridges. You end up with a life filled with what-ifs and might-have-beens. So step into the arena. Embrace the courage within you, even when you don't feel you have it. The world is waiting for your unique brand of wonderfully flawed. You've got this. The world needs you, and that opportunity is waiting for you to grab it. All right, champions. Are you ready to break free? Welcome to Chapter 3, The Shame Shield. Recognizing and dropping it. Shame. It's that nasty, gnawing feeling that whispers you're not enough. Not good enough. Not smart enough. Not worthy of love or belonging. It's the invisible wall that keeps us from daring greatly. It's the reason we hide our true selves. But here's the truth, my friends. Shame thrives in secrecy. It grows in the dark corners we try to keep hidden. It's a master manipulator, keeping us small and afraid. Today, we're shining a spotlight on shame. And that light alone weakens its power. Recognizing your shame shield. Think of shame as a shield. It's built to protect you, but what is it really protecting you from? Usually the feeling of being exposed, of being perceived as flawed. So how do you know you're holding up that shield? Watch out for these telltale signs. Perfectionism. Striving for the impossible to avoid criticism. Think of Alex, who avoids submitting anything to work until it is perfect, because he is afraid that his boss won't like his job and will scold him. People-pleasing. Saying yes when you want to say no. Doing this only make others exploit and you feel shame inside. Numbing. Turning to distractions to avoid uncomfortable feelings. Hiding. Avoiding situations where you might feel vulnerable or inadequate. These behaviors are all attempts to avoid the sting of shame. They are like adding layers upon layers of armor. Dropping the shield. This is where the bravery comes in. Dropping the shame shield isn't about becoming fearless. It's about showing up with your fear. It's about choosing courage over comfort. Here's how you start. 1. Name it to tame it. Next time you feel that gnawing feeling, call it out. Say, aha, that's shame talking. Just acknowledging it's there weakens its grip. 2. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend who is suffering. Because you deserve it. 3. Share your story. Find a safe person, this is important, and share what you're struggling with. Vulnerability is the antidote to shame. Remember, secrecy is shame's superpower. Listen up, champions. This isn't easy. It takes practice and unwavering self-belief. But as you courageously choose to drop your shame shield, you'll discover a world of authentic connection and genuine joy. The journey starts now. Are you in? Alright, champions. Let's talk about boundaries. Think of them as your invisible shield, protecting your precious energy and making sure you can keep shining bright. Vulnerability doesn't mean opening the floodgates and letting just anyone stomp all over you. No way. It means being brave enough to show your true self to the right people. Saying no isn't a bad word, friends. It's a superpower. When you say no to things that drain you, you're actually saying yes to yourself. Yes to your peace, your dreams, your well-being. Imagine John, always agreeing to help with extra projects at work even though he's already swamped. He burns out, gets stressed, and ends up not doing anything well. Now imagine John learning to say, I appreciate the offer, but I'm focused on these other tasks right now. Maybe check with Peter. He frees up his energy, focuses on what matters, and everyone wins. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's essential. It's about knowing your limits and communicating them clearly and kindly. I can't take on that extra commitment this month, but I'm happy to help brainstorm solutions. It's love, not aggression. It's respecting yourself enough to prioritize your own needs. When you clearly define your boundaries, you train the people to treat you in such manner. People will start respecting your time, energy, priorities, and ultimately your being. Think of your boundaries like the walls of your house. You wouldn't leave the doors wide open all the time, would you? You need those walls to feel safe, secure, and able to recharge. Your boundaries are the same. They allow you to nurture yourself, pursue your passions, and build relationships that are built on mutual respect. So discover your worth, respect your limit, and put yourself first. Start today. Alright, champions. You've made it to Chapter 5, Embracing Imperfection, the Gift of Good Enough. High five, virtual high five. Listen up, because this is a big one. We're talking about kicking perfectionism to the curb. It's like holding onto a hot coal, burning you from the inside out, while you think you're doing something good. Newsflash. You're not. Perfectionism? It's a lie, plain and simple. It whispers sweet nothings about always being right, always looking fabulous, always achieving the impossible. But truthfully, it's a bully, disguised as a cheerleader. It's the enemy of vulnerability, the kryptonite to your superhero. Think about it. When you're so focused on being perfect, are you really present in the moment? No. You're too busy dissecting every word, every action, to see if it measures up to your impossible standards. Good enough isn't settling. It's being kind to yourself. It's recognizing that you are human, and humans make mistakes. It's about celebrating progress, not chasing an unrealistic and unattainable mirage. Let's say Alex wants to learn to play the guitar. A perfectionist Alex would spend months painstakingly trying to play a complex song flawlessly, before even attempting to play anything simple. Result? Frustration, discouragement, and a dust-covered guitar in the corner. Good enough, Alex? He learns 3 chords, strums a simple tune, messes up a few times, laughs it off, and keeps going. He's not striving for flawless execution on day 1. He's striving for progress, for enjoyment. See the difference? Good enough is freedom. It's permission to make mistakes, to learn, to grow, to evolve. It's about daring to try, even if you're not sure you'll succeed flawlessly. So, how do we embrace imperfection? 1. Acknowledge it's there. Recognize when perfectionism is creeping into your thoughts. 2. Challenge the thought. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could really happen? 3. Celebrate small wins. Pat yourself on the back for every step forward, no matter how small. 4. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a friend. Ditch the need to be perfect, champion. It's time to embrace the beautiful, messy, imperfect you. You are already amazing just as you are. Go out there and dare to be good enough. The world is waiting for you. Alright, champions. Let's rip off the band-aid of this painful truth. It's time to talk about control. Chapter 6. The Myth of Control. Letting go and trusting the process. How many of you spend your days juggling, obsessing, and micromanaging every single detail in your life? Be honest. It's okay, we've all been there. We believe that if we can just control everything, we can avoid pain, failure, and vulnerability. Like you think you know all the answers. But here's a punchline. That's a flat-out lie. Life will always throw curveballs. An unexpected bill, a sudden job loss, a relationship ends. Things will happen beyond your control. Trying to maintain a death grip on every aspect is exhausting, ineffective, and ultimately, a prison. This is not advice of slacking around and doing nothing. Think about it like this. You're planning a road trip. You map out every stop, meticulously calculate gas mileage, and pack the perfect snacks. Fantastic preparation. But what happens when you hit unexpected road construction? The detour throws your entire schedule off. Do you freak out, slam on the brakes? Or do you adjust your journey with an open mind? The illusion of control makes us believe we can predict the future, shielding ourselves from vulnerability. The solution is to embrace the unknown by trusting the process. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about surrendering to the flow of life, knowing that even when things don't go according to plans, there are possibilities and lessons to be found. It's about trusting your ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow, regardless of the circumstances. John decided to start his own business. He spent months perfecting his business plan, projecting profits, researching marketing strategies, and yet he started his business and the sales were low, suppliers were late, and employees were not performing well. Instead of panicking, John focused on finding creative solutions. He redesigned his marketing strategy, had a deep conversation with the supplier, and offered to upskill the workforce. Things eventually turned around by making changes to the overall process. Letting go and trusting the process is about having faith in yourself, in the world, and in the journey. It's about embracing uncertainty, knowing that even in the face of discomfort, you have the strength and resilience to prevail. So loosen your grip, trust yourself to make informed calls and embrace the flow, and open yourself up to the endless possibilities that await you. Alright, champion, let's dive headfirst into the amazing power of self-compassion. Chapter 7. Cultivating Self-Compassion, Your Inner Ally. Listen up, because this is huge. We are all gonna stumble and fall. It's a fact of life, and in those moments, you have a choice. You can beat yourself up, listen to that nasty inner critic, or you can activate your inner ally, self-compassion. Think of it like this. Imagine someone you care about deeply, a best friend, a sibling, your kid. They've messed up. They're feeling terrible. Would you yell at them? Call them names? Probably not. You'd offer them kindness, understanding, and a hug, right? Now, why is it so hard to offer that same kindness to yourself? Self-compassion isn't about feeling sorry for yourself. It's about recognizing that you're human, that everyone makes mistakes, and that's okay. It's about treating yourself with the same gentleness and understanding you'd offer a loved one. So, how do we cultivate this awesome inner ally? 3 key ingredients. 1. Self-kindness. Ditch the self-criticism. Start noticing those negative thoughts and actively replace them with kind ones. Instead of, I'm such an idiot, try, okay, I messed up. What can I learn from this? It's about being gentle with yourself. 2. Common humanity. Remember, you're not alone. Everyone struggles. Everyone fails. It's part of the human experience. Feeling inadequate. Look around you. Is it only you? Find comfort, connection, and strength in recognizing that you're in good company. 3. Mindfulness. Be present with your pain, without getting swept away by it. Acknowledge your suffering without judgment. Say to yourself, "This is a difficult moment, and I am feeling pain." Don't push it away, but don't wallow in it either. Just be present. Practical tips. Self-compassion break. When you're feeling down, take a moment to pause, put your hand on your heart, and repeat a few comforting phrases to yourself like, "May I be kind to myself," or "May I accept myself as I am." Write a letter to yourself. Imagine you're writing to that friend who's struggling. What would you say? Now write that letter to yourself. You might be surprised by the compassion that flows out. Talk to yourself like a child. Visualize your younger self. What does he, she need to hear? When we were kids, we were less critical and more accepting of our shortcomings. Journal about it. Write down what you are feeling. Self-compassion is not a weakness. It's a superpower. It allows you to bounce back from setbacks with greater resilience, build stronger relationships, and live a more authentic and fulfilling life. It's about having your own back, no matter what. So go out there and get practicing, champion. Your inner ally is waiting for you. All right, champions, let's talk about something huge. Speaking your truth. Communicating vulnerably. This isn't about blasting your every thought at everyone who breathes. This is about courage. About showing up as you, with all your beautiful imperfections, and letting your voice be heard. Think of a time you really wanted to say something but held back. Maybe you were scared of hurting someone's feelings, or of being judged. We all do it. But what happens when we keep stuffing those feelings down? They fester, they block connection, and they chip away at our self-worth. Vulnerable communication is about expressing your needs, feelings, and authentic self without fear of judgment. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. It's one of the bravest things you'll ever do, but listen up, it's worth it. Because when you dare to speak your truth, you create space for real connection. Here's the deal. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. Think about Mark, a colleague at work. He was always agreeing with everything, even when you could tell he didn't quite agree. He was always afraid of conflict, of rocking the boat. Then, one day, he spoke up in a meeting, disagreeing with the boss about a project direction. Respectfully, but firmly. The boss listened, and actually took Mark's idea into consideration. It was scary for Mark, but he did it anyway, because he realized he was contributing his best to the team. Mark discovered that his opinion mattered, and that his honesty built respect, not resentment. How do you start speaking your truth? Know thyself. What are your values? What matters to you? What are you feeling? Practice. Start small. Expressing a like or dislike is a good start. I prefer coffee than tea. Be kind. Be clear. Be concise. You don't need to over-explain or apologize for your feelings. State them simply and kindly. Use I statements. I feel anxious when we talk about money. Not, you always make me anxious about money. See the difference? One is taking responsibility, the other is blaming. Listen, first. True communication is a two-way street. Listen to understand before trying to be understood. This isn't a sprint, friends, it's a marathon. Be patient with yourself. Some days you'll nail it. Others you'll stumble. But every time you dare to speak your truth, you grow stronger, braver, and more authentically you. Isn't that worth fighting for? Now go out there and let your voice be heard. The world needs you. Alright, champions, let's dive headfirst into Chapter 9, Listening with Your Heart, Creating Safe Spaces. Because frankly, vulnerability is like a delicate flower. It needs the right environment to bloom. You can't expect someone to open up if they feel like they're about to be squashed. Think about it. Have you ever shared something personal and been met with judgment, criticism, or someone just waiting for their turn to talk? It shuts you down instantly, right? Creates a wall higher than you can climb. That's why creating safe spaces is absolutely crucial. It's about building an environment where others feel seen, heard, and respected. This isn't just about being polite. It's about deeply connecting with another human being. How do we build this magical safe space, you ask? Simple. Active listening. I'm not just talking about hearing the words. I'm talking about truly understanding the person's feelings and perspective. Imagine a friend, let's call her Maya, comes to you after losing an important sale at work. Now, you could immediately jump into solution mode. You should have done this. You should have done that. But stop. Maya likely doesn't need a lecture right now. She needs to vent, to feel heard. Instead, practice empathy. Focus on her experience. Make eye contact. Put away your phone. Resist the urge to interrupt. Nod along. Use phrases like, "That sounds incredibly frustrating," or "I can understand why you're upset." Reflect back what you're hearing. So, it sounds like you're feeling really disappointed in yourself right now. Validating their feelings isn't agreeing with them. It's acknowledging their emotional reality. It's saying, your feelings are real, and they matter. More important, be non-judgmental. This is easier than it sounds. We all carry our own biases and opinions. But when someone is being vulnerable, those need to be shelved. Bite that critical tongue. Safe spaces are built on trust and acceptance. Judgment is like poison in a garden. It'll kill the whole thing. So, the next time someone bravely chooses to open up to you, remember Maya and that important sale. Put down your defenses, open your heart, and listen. Really listen. You have the power to create a safe space for vulnerability, a space where trust blossoms and true connection can flourish. It's an act of courage, a demonstration of love, and a key to unlocking deeper, more meaningful relationships. Now go out there and build them. Here's your burst of motivation for Chapter 10. Get ready to connect on a whole new level. Chapter 10. Vulnerability in Relationships, Building Deeper Connections. Hey champions! You've made it this far. Ready to unlock the power of connection? Let's talk about relationships. Not just any relationships, but the kind that fuel your soul. The ones where you feel truly seen. Guess what the secret ingredient is? Vulnerability. I know. It sounds scary, like walking into a room naked. But trust me, it's the most beautiful kind of nakedness there is, the exposure of your heart. Think about it. Are you closer to that pal who always has it together, or the one who admits when they're struggling? It's the shared human experience, the me too moments, that glue us together. In romantic relationships, vulnerability is the oxygen of intimacy. Imagine Marco, always trying to be the strong one for Anna. He never talks about his fears, his insecurities. Does Anna feel truly close to him? Probably not. But what if he admitted, "Hey, I'm nervous about this presentation at work, and I'm scared I'll mess up"? Anna can now provide support and be a true partner. Friendships are where vulnerability shines too. Forget pretending you're perfect. When you are feeling down, be honest. Don't shut your friends out. Your family. Often the toughest. Because these are the people who know your history, the ones you've built up walls with over time. Start small though. Share a dream, a goal that scares you. You might be surprised by the love and support that comes flooding back. Vulnerability is contagious. When you dare to be real, you give others permission to do the same. It's the foundation of genuine, lasting connection. So take a deep breath. Choose one relationship where you can take a small step toward vulnerability today. It's not about pouring your heart out all at once. It's about creating a space where truth can bloom. You've got this. Go out there and connect. I am with you. Alright, champion. Let's dive headfirst into Chapter 11, Vulnerability at Work. Leading with Authenticity. Listen up. We often think the workplace is a battlefield where you need to be a stone-cold warrior. Show no weakness. But I'm here to tell you that that's a recipe for disaster. It creates a tense, fearful, and ultimately unproductive environment. Authentic leadership isn't about appearing perfect. It's about being real. It's about daring to show your human side, even in a space that often feels so professional. Think of a skilled craftsperson. Their ability makes them more vulnerable, since they can be judged to their work. What does this look like in practice? Let's say you're leading a project and hit a snag. The old-school, tough leader might try to hide it, spin it, or blame someone else. The authentic leader. They stand up and say, "Okay team, we have a challenge. I don't have all the answers, but I know we can figure this out together. What ideas do you have?" Boom. Instant connection. You're not presenting yourself as an infallible superhero. You're presenting yourself as a partner. You're acknowledging that you're human, like everyone else. Vulnerability breeds trust. And trust, that's the bedrock of a high-performing team. When people trust their leader, they're more likely to take risks, share ideas, and support each other through challenges. This builds psychological safety, the feeling you can speak up without being punished. Let's picture Alex, a manager at a tech firm. He could have tried to bury the mistake. Instead, he owned it, shared the lessons learned, and now, the team is functioning better than ever. Here's the exciting part. When you show vulnerability, you give others permission to do the same. You create a culture where people feel safe to be themselves, to admit mistakes, and to ask for help. And that, my friend, is where real innovation and growth happen. So dare to be real. Dare to be human. Dare to lead with authenticity. The power of vulnerability in the workplace is unlike anything you've experienced. You might be surprised at just how many people are waiting for a leader just like you. The world is waiting, so let's begin. All right, champion, let's dive headfirst into Chapter 12, Facing Failure with Grace, Learning from Setbacks. Listen up, because I'm going to tell you something crucial. You will stumble. You will fall. It's not a matter of if, but when. And guess what? That's okay. In fact, it's essential. Think about it. A child learning to ride a bike doesn't just hop on and magically become an Olympic cyclist, right? No way. They wobble, they crash, they scrape their knees. But they get back up, dust themselves off, and try again. Each wobble, each crash, teaches them something. Akan. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. It's data, information, feedback. It tells you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. So how do we face failure with grace? How do we turn those faceplants into fuel for our fire? First, acknowledge the pain. Don't try to pretend it doesn't hurt. It's okay to be disappointed, frustrated, even angry. Feel those emotions. Denying them just lets them fester. Give yourself time to process. Next, detach from the negativity. Don't let self-criticism take over. Instead of swirling in, "I'm such an idiot," switch to, "Okay, what happened here?" Analyze the situation objectively. What went wrong? What could you have done differently? Be honest with yourself, but be kind. Then, extract the lessons. Each failure is a goldmine of information. Dig deep. What new skill did you need? What assumption proved false? What system broke down? Write it all down. Make it concrete. Finally, reframe the experience. See the setback, not as a mark of shame, but as badge of honor. It proves you're out there, stretching yourself, daring to try. Acknowledge your courage, appreciate lessons learned, and move forward, stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Imagine you applied for a dream job and didn't get it. Instead of beating yourself up, take time to grieve the lost opportunity, then review your interview performance. Maybe you discover you need to improve your confidence in speaking. Now you know what to work on. Champion, failure is inevitable, but how you respond to failure defines you. Embrace it, learn from it, use it. Now go out there and dare greatly, knowing that even when you fall, you'll fall forward. Because it is not about if you fall, it is about how you rise, and I know you will rise. Duntler sirs, alright, fist bump. Now let's move on, the world is waiting. Duntler sirs, Chapter 13, The Power of Forgiveness, Releasing Resentment. Hey there, champions. You've come so far on this journey of daring deeply. But listen, carrying resentment is like lugging around a bag of rocks, heavy and completely pointless. It weighs you down, clouds your judgment, and stops you from experiencing true freedom. Understand that holding on to resentment blocks vulnerability faster than anything else. It's a steel wall protecting your hurt, all right, but also locking you inside that hurt. Think about it. When someone hurts you, naturally, you feel anger, pain, maybe even betrayal. Totally valid feelings. But what happens when you cling to that anger? It festers. It grows. It becomes a monster that feeds on your energy, and poisons your relationships. You see, the person who hurt you may have moved on, but you are still stuck, replaying the scene in your head, fueling the fire of resentment. Forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's absolutely not about condoning bad behavior. It's about you choosing to release the grip that the past has on you. It's about taking back your power. It's about saying, "This happened to me, it hurt, but I refuse to let it define me any longer." And guess what? Forgiveness isn't just for them. It's especially for you. It's about self-compassion. It's about recognizing that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Seriously, my friends, holding on is hurting you most of all. Let's use David as an example. David was overlooked for a promotion at work. He felt deeply resentful towards his boss, thinking he'd been unfairly treated. He spent weeks replaying the conversations in his head, convinced he was robbed. This resentment spilled over into his home life. He was short-tempered and distant. One day David made a brave decision. He realized that his resentment was consuming him. He thought, what good is he doing to himself? He realized that he needed to forgive and move on. He understood that the bitterness was just poisoning him. He consciously started looking at the situation objectively, searching for what he could learn from it. He started putting extra efforts in his work. He ended up getting promoted in the next opportunity. So, how do you actually forgive? It's a process, not a one-time event. It starts with acknowledging your pain, experiencing it, and then making a conscious choice to release the resentment. This might involve talking to the person who hurt you, if it's safe and healthy, writing down your feelings, or simply deciding to let go. And most importantly, remember, forgive yourself. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. Be kind to yourself. Understand that self-forgiveness is just as important as forgiving others. You deserve to be free from the burden of regret and self-blame. Forgiveness is a superpower. It's the ability to choose healing over bitterness, compassion over anger, and freedom over resentment. Unleash that superpower, my friends. Take out the heavy rocks. Live lighter, bolder, and more authentically. You've got this. All right, champions, let's dive into Chapter 14. Living authentically. Defining your values. This is where rubber meets the road, the secret sauce to a life that truly sings. Listen up. For too long we've been living by other people's scripts, chasing their dreams, wearing their masks. No more. It's time to yank the steering wheel, navigate to your true north, and unleash the real you. Authenticity. It's not just a buzzword. It's the compass guiding every bold, vulnerable step. But how do we find this compass? Simple. Know your values. Values are your bedrock, your guiding stars. They are the why behind everything you do. What truly matters to you? Honesty, kindness, creativity, adventure. Here's the deal. Grab a pen and ask yourself, what beliefs and ethics are non-negotiable for me? What brings me feeling of joy? For example, Mark valued, integrity, Even when his boss asked him to bend the truth to close a sale, Mark bravely refused. It cost him promotion, but his conscience was clear as a bell. Living authentically isn't about grand gestures, it's about daily alignment. Choose 2 or 3 values to focus on. Start today. When you mess up, and you will, because that's life, be kind to yourself. Authenticity isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, learning, and living in alignment with your core values, day in and day out. Now go out there and shine like the diamond you are. Chapter 15. Daring deeply every day. A lifelong journey.
All right, you incredible human beings.
We've traveled far, haven't we? We've stared into the scary parts of ourselves, learned to loosen our grips, and tasted the freedom of showing up real. But here's the truth. Daring deeply isn't a one-time fix. It's not a summit you reach and then plant a flag. Nope, it's a path, a winding road, a lifelong adventure. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. You wobble, you fall, you skin your knee. But you get back on, don't you? Each time, you learn a little more, you balance a little better, until you're cruising along, wind in your hair, feeling the pure joy of movement. Daring deeply is the same. So how do we keep pedaling? How do we make this vulnerability thing a daily habit? First, make vulnerability a friend, not a foe. Don't see it as a weakness. See it as strength. As a superpower, remind yourself of all the good things it's brought you. Deeper connections, more authentic joy, a truer sense of self. Second, practice, practice, practice. Start small. Maybe it's telling a colleague you appreciate their work. Maybe it's admitting to your partner you need help with something. Maybe it's just being honest with yourself about how you're really feeling. Each small act of vulnerability builds courage and makes the next one easier. Third, be kind to yourself. There will be days when you trip and fall. Days when you try to be vulnerable and it backfires. Days when you want to pull that armor back up and hide. That's okay. It's part of the process. Don't beat yourself up. Just acknowledge it, learn from it, and keep going. Fourth, create a support system. Surround yourself with people who understand and appreciate your vulnerability. People who will lift you up when you fall, not kick you while you're down. These are your tribe, your champions, your fellow travelers on this incredible journey. Finally, commit to the journey. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up each day, a little braver, a little more authentic, a little more you. So get out there and dare. Dare to love, dare to dream, dare to fail, dare to be you. The world needs your authenticity, your vulnerability, your wholehearted self. And remember, I'm cheering you on every step of the way. Go get 'em.